Hello, good afternoon. Something slightly different today. Where do I start? We have a wee bit of ground here behind the yard. Looking at it there, I have actually solar panels up in the top corner there, and there's a couple of bits of old machinery, a big pear tree growing there. I used to grow a few vegetables and stuff up here. Sometimes I've planted a big patch of sunflowers and whatnot. But for the last few years I've had a hide here in the corner. It's kind of hidden behind those laurels, but there's a hole sort of there and a hole there, and a wee sort of glass windows up in the top there. You can't really see them, but they need to clean it up slightly. I used to photograph a buzzard a lot here. Buzzard would have been coming in, I get up all sorts of stuff off the road, pigeons and rabbits or hares or whatever I could get, and sometimes even just chicken drumsticks, raw chicken, just to keep it coming now and again. And there's a few years here, for a couple of years I had it coming. It was coming every day almost, back and forwards. And those times there was two here at a time, even during the summer, but even especially in the winter time when there wasn't as much stuff about. So I built that hide and I was feeding them out in front here, and that's what these posts and stuff for. A photograph somewhere I could probably show you. I've sitting on top of, that's an old railway sleeper, and stone there, and the old gate post and bits and pieces there, stumps and stuff. And then I built a reflection pool here, so that's sort of looking down the reflection pool from where you would be in the hide. Again, I could do a slight clean out. And there's a lot of small birds coming to it. There's a robin, there's plenty of sparrows, house sparrows about here. There's jays coming to it, blackbirds, thrushes. You may see all these apples here. I got paid apples one day at a house I was working at with a couple of apple trees, and there was field fares and thrushes and blackbirds and stuff there now this winter time coming in. And then I have feeders here for the small birds, and I planted a lot of teasel and stuff around it there. Where are we? That's teasel there, and there's more over in the corner there. So the goldfinches and whatnot like the teasel. I have a pond in the garden, and it's kind of out of hand and overgrown, and I haven't time. There's a big border around it full of plants and stuff, and I haven't the time to look after it. So I'm going to take the pond out. The pond in the springtime was full of frogs. There's two ponds. There's a second pond, but there's koi and orf and stuff in it, goldfish and whatnot. So the tadpole frogs don't like it because the fish will eat the tadpoles. But the first pond, it's only maybe 2 foot deep, and it's kind of 25 foot across maybe. Full of frogs in the springtime, and there's newts and stuff in it as well. And I want to take that whole area of the garden, I'm going to rip it out and just put it into grass, because I just haven't the time to look after it at the moment. I still have, I say, another pond and plenty of garden, so it's just going to be a bit more room for the children to play football on, really, and easier to look after. So my idea was to build a pond here and do away with a smaller one in the garden. That's what these pegs are about. And I have a mark on this peg here where that screw is here. That is the height of there's a shelf in the hide that I have bolts and stuff, mounting points for tripod heads or gimbals or whatever. So that is the level of that, or below, just below there's a shelf, and then obviously the camera would be sitting 4 or 5 inches higher than the shelf, and I can move the camera up and down where necessary, but that's the height there that I want water level. So as you can see, it's almost 18 inches, but then we're on a slope here, so that's the post, and that's marking it again there, sort of round that wee peg there, up to that wee peg there. And when you get up to the top here, the peg is just ground level almost. And then there's another peg here, and down to this one. And then that's over to the one we started at there. So basically, I have a liner already got here. The liner is 9 meters by 6 meters. You lose a bit obviously depending on the depth of the pond. So I'm sort of digging this out. I have it measured at 7.5 meters long and almost 5 meters wide to fit a liner. That'll be 6 meters. I'll just keep an eye on it when I'm digging. Whatever comes out of the ground up at the top, I'm basically pulling down the hill to make a bank at the bottom. And I won't need much out of the ground here. I only want it to be 2 foot deep type thing. I don't need it any more than 2'6" deep at the deepest part, just for keep frogs and stuff in it. I might throw a few wee small fish into it. Just wee tiny fish. If a heron comes to the pond in the garden, I don't mind it coming to the pond where the frogs and stuff are. I don't like it eating my arf, so I've it covered with net. But I wouldn't mind the heron coming to here. We've a lot of swallows around the yard here in the winter, or in the summertime build, and they're always looking mud, so I'd put something, a platform in the middle of this here with mud on it, sort of just at water level that's always damp, maybe to get the swallow. So it would be great if you were looking at eye level from the height at the back straight up here and had a heron coming in or had swallows coming in. I'm trying to get the buzzards back at the minute. I'm feeding and they're starting to look a bit interested, so get the buzzards and stuff coming here. I can put posts then up behind the pond here and see what else turns up. There's no knowing. We have a lot of pheasants about here. There's hares come through here regularly, and as I say, all the small birds, so we give them somewhere to feed or water and stuff as well. So that's my idea. I have a digger hired for a week. I have other jobs to do here as well, and a bit of work for somebody else to do, and my brother wants it for a day, so I have a digger hired for a week. Only a wee 1.5 ton digger. So this is just showing you what I'm going to do, and when we get the digger started out now in the next couple of days and get started into it, I'll video it as I go along. And what are you going to do next, Daniel?
No. Where do I go?
Will I shift that? Morning. We have a digger. We've got started. We also have 2 children up there. It's half-term week. Things didn't go as planned this last few weeks. We had a death in the family. We had a storm that took a lot of timber off roofs. So we're a few weeks behind, and these 2, Lucas and Daniel, are here now for half-term. So they've been on the digger already, and they're mad looking to play the digger. But we're others on it at the minute. He's the digger man about here. So starting to take a bit of space here. As I said before, the pond's going to be, well, the liner's 6 meters by 9 meters. It'll be slightly narrower than that by the time you count for the slope up both sides. Don't want to make it too deep. It's only going to be maybe 2 foot deep at the deepest part, and just well sloped in each side for anything to walk in and out of it. So we'll let him dig away here, and we're here most of the day as well. We've a couple of ton of sand sitting in the yard there ready to go to put in here, put down before we put the liner in. So hopefully today we'll have this dug and a liner in and start getting some water into it before we tackle my garden. There's a pond there that's coming out, and I want to catch any newts or frogs or beetles or whatever's there and get them into the water here. I have a natural pond or natural well in the garden, so I'm pumping the water from the well up to the pond here. I'm not putting in chlorinated water out of the tap system or anything. So that's the plan for today. We'll keep updating it as we go along. Well, I went away for an hour there, took the young fella to the orthodontist, and come back and there's nearly a pond. Hard to make out. We're still digging a little bit deeper, but that's about the size of it. And bro sitting laughing at me in the digger. And the children are there somewhere as well. But yeah, looking at it from my hide point of view, it's hopefully all be near enough level. Still a good bit of work to do around it, get we're leveling up right around the edges here. I have a bit more to dig out of the middle of it where I want it a little bit deeper. And then I have a couple of ton of sand to throw into it and a liner and stuff, so plenty of work still to be done, but we're rightly through it here today. But that's how it's looking like at the moment anyway. Well, there we go, 12:30. What time did Andrew start digging at? Must be nearly 9. And we kind of have a pond. It could be hard to make out there, but I'll lower down. You know, that's turning the way the level's going to be there. It's over 2 feet deep at the deepest part, which is sort of this end, and then it gets shallower the whole way up. We had my 2 boys and my brothers, son and daughter, spectating. They carried themselves up 4 picnic seats or summer seats to sit on and watch us. But that, I know it's hard to make out the depth there, but I jump down into it. And when you're down in here, you know, you can't see that sort of ground level there with my hide behind it. So as I say, it's over 2 feet deep here at the deepest part. And I'm going to get sand into it now. It sort of slopes up, it's getting slightly shallower the whole way up, and then there's a bit of a slope here at this end. That peg there was sort of marking the level with pegs right around it there. So that's that. I'm going to start bringing up sand now, and then get the underlay and then the liner into it. So we'll see how we're going at that stage. I'm getting complaints of child labour here, but aren't they looking good? The 2 of them working away with the help of the 2 dogs. Anyway, that's it, line and sand. Only like an inch of sand over the whole thing. So next process is underlay. Well, there's no stones. I've made sure there's no stones in it. But the underlay, it's really hard to make out in that GoPro how much of a hollow there is, but like where Daniel's standing down there, you know, it's well over 2 foot deep, so deep enough for what I need. Right, we'll put the dogs in because we don't want them in the run through the underlay and then the pond liner. So we'll put them in now, and then we'll get the pond liner in after the underlay. Well, there we have it. Starting to run. It's a bit of a bodge job. Well, pipe here and a hose, garden hose. I have a 1,000 litre cube in the down beside the garden that is filled from the well in the garden. So that is running from the tank. And then I can turn the pump back on in the well whenever the tank's empty and refill it. And there's a float switch in the well, so it'll keep the tank topped up as the well fills. So all I can do now is just let that dribble away. That's a fair wee size. We have bricks around the edge of it there just to hold the liner down. All that to tidy up obviously at some stage. And I'm going to bring natural stone up now, or there tomorrow, that are taken out of the garden and lay them right around the edge of that. You know, to hide the liner, and the rest of it will be underwater, and then around the outside here can be all trimmed off and tidied up. But that's it, film. I'll update again in a day or 2. It's going to take, what day is this? Tuesday? Oh well, I think it's filled by Sunday. But we'll just let it run away in the meantime and keep an eye on it. The liner might need fixed here and there as it fills. It could be too tight with the bricks on it. It's just a matter of letting the bricks out a wee bit and let the liner settle properly. But that's it so far. Back soon. Right, we have a pond. Hope you can see it there behind me. It's now 2 days later. The water off the hose pipe there comes up from the well in my garden has been running now for 2 days, and it's full. It's over 2 foot deep at this end, and it's not just as deep. It runs up to maybe 9 inches deep at the top end there. I need to turn the hose off actually because it's running out at this end. Actually, I'll get a pipe sorted out here somewhere as an overflow, but I haven't got round to that yet. We've spent 2 days between this and then my own garden with a digger there, trying to get my own pond out of the garden. It was just a mess, overgrown, and all the stones and stuff moved up to here. So we've stones now right around the edge. And that's looking at it. I'll go back to my hide here. The liner needs tidied up right around it, obviously. I have a lot more stones there still to go around the edges, but that's kind of the view there. And then get down lower, whatever height you want. You know, you can just see the liner's blowing up, of course, my way. You can see the water there and the reflection and stuff if I can get whatever around the edges of it. There was always magpies and jackdaws, all the thrushes and all that kind of stuff. I had field fairs here. I was leaving apples and stuff out, and there's plenty of field fairs and all about too. So, and we'll try to get the buzzard back again maybe as well. Sparrowhawk called here regularly when I was feeding the small birds and stuff. So, all that kind of stuff. So still a bit of work to do around the edges there, as you can see. I still have lots of stones here. I have piles that we brought them up with the tractor. Lots of stones. There's a few big stones like that there, which will get set up around the edge here and there, something different, a bit of a feature. There's more stones. Plenty of work around it, but I had to get the stones in because my own garden pond that we took out was a pile of frogs in it. And the frogs were all sitting under the stones around the edges, so we did put stones down into the water there a good bit. Maybe it's hard to see there, but the stones under the water right round. And I have some plants and whatnot there to go into it now, which will hopefully give the frogs a bit of cover. There's actually a few newts in my pond as well. The children gathered them up into buckets and brought them up. There's a nice big stone there on the edge. And then there's a bit of black oak there. Just has a big black oak stump here too. So I'll get that set up here somewhere. I have an old hay rake here. I get that pushed back. That's plants there that were in my garden pond too, irises and water lilies and stuff. So we'll do something with them, and there's a few clay pipes there, old pipes, so we'll roll them into the middle of that to give things a bit of cover. But that's the way it's looking so far. Don't know whether I'm wise or not, but sure. That's somewhere for the wildlife, and I say hopefully the frogs, now that we have a good few brought up to here, hopefully they'll spawn in it this year maybe, so we'll have tadpoles and stuff in it as well. And it's somewhere for all the birds to come and drink there too. We'll see what else turns up over the next while. So that's it. Quick video over 2 or 3 days there, but that's the pond. Done so far. A bit more work to do, and then over the springtime into the summertime it'll grow up. We'll get a bit of stuff growing around it here. Some of these plants and stuff, it'll make it look a bit better, but that's it so far. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll do a shoot sometime now from the hide whenever things get established a bit and see what is coming. But as I say, hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching. Catch you again soon.